Season opener is less than a month away now, and while there won't be any rule changes, the NRL is set to road test one significant change regarding sin bins during the trial. So let's get more on this with our rugby league reporter, Cody Kaye. Cody, good morning to you. Tell us what we're in for come the trials.
Well, I think it's a really common sense change, to be honest, and it's one that I think a lot of fans last year were left bewildered in a couple of circumstances. But basically what's going to happen now is that if a player is unable to return to the field because of an illegal high shot, whether that's category 1, where they've clearly been concussed from the instance, the player that produced the illegal shot is going to be sent to the sin bin regardless. That's also the same for Cat 2. So if there's an incident where there's an illegal high shot and we're not exactly sure, or the bunker's not exactly sure if that player has been concussed, if they then fail their HIA, that 15 minutes when they're off the field, the player that committed the high shot will then retrospectively be sin bin. Now, one of the really good examples of that is this one that we're looking at right now with Roger Tuivasa-Sheck and Stephen Crichton, where Crichton clearly gets Tuivasa-Sheck high. Tuivasa-Sheck fails his HIA, plays no more part in the game. Stephen Crichton mystifyingly stayed on the field. He was actually hit with a grade 2 after the fact and then missed the next week. So that is going to rub that sort of thing out, which, look, I think it's really, really important for the game to get that right, because Andrew Webster, the Warriors coach at the time, was up in arms in the post-match press conference saying, and we've heard this echoed so many times before with other coaches, we've just lost a player to an illegal high shot. Yeah. The offending team has had no on-field repercussions. Yeah, there might be a play that's sin bin the week after, but so this will go some way to levelling out the playing field, and in that instance where a player's been hit illegally from a high shot.
So essentially, we could have play continuing along for, like you said, that 15-minute window. Then all of a sudden the game stops.
Yeah.
A player gets called over and we've got them, well, they're going to have to come up with that and something else.
And the issue that you're going to have, let's say in that instance where in the intervening 15 minutes before a player is sent off or sin binned, what if they score a match-winning try and we all found out that it was a legal play and they should have been sent off? What if it happens too late in the game and they can't send them off because it's with only 11 minutes to play? So it's not going to be perfect, but it is going to go, and it's certainly going to create its own set of issues.
Where there's areas where there's inconsistencies and imperfections, we've seen how the fans react.
Yeah.
They don't like it. I can't see this one having legs. I get the intention behind it, but just where there's inconsistencies, there's random stoppages of play 10 minutes later, I can see the fans being a little bit upset.
It's going to be tough because they'll say, well, and especially if the bunker had multiple looks at it, they'll say, well, we could all see that was an illegal high shot. They should have been gone straight away. But I go back to the Stephen Crichton one. The bunker had multiple looks at it. The referee had multiple looks at it. Everyone decided he should have stayed on the field. So it mitigates that at least.
All right. Now, we know the NRL is going to target a few existing rules and have a look at them. And interpretations around them as well. What are we looking at there?
Well, look, the really big one's going to be with obstruction. We saw last year, like you just said, consistency. There was a total lack of it when it came to a lead runner either obstructing a defender or being obstructed by a defender. So the way they're going to look at it now is really to try and incentivise teams that tactically use that lead runner to good effect, where they force a defender into making a bad decision. But look, there was one really key one last year where Manly were pinged a ludicrous situation against Parramatta, where Jake Trbojevic, this was a try, by the way, Manly were behind by 8 points, Tolu Kola goes down the other end and scored. It's called back because of that contact Jake Trbojevic makes in the lead up to
absolutely farcical.
Absolutely farcical. He's not even looking. Yes, he makes contact with the defender's outside shoulder, but he's not even looking at him. And then and that's just a lazy read from the defender.
Exactly. There's those ones where you could even move that upfield, and we've seen it countless times where instead of being on the halfway line, it's on the try line, and that inside player will actually fall to the ground like they've
they've milking
by a ton of bricks.
That's exactly right.
Which is a terrible look for the game as well, yet time and time again, we've seen that given no try.
So the understanding is that the NRL is going to try and disincentivise players milking, and they're going to award the attacking team, and you would hope that you never see another instance like this where a team has a try taken off them for a really ludicrous call. The other side of that is where you've got a lead runner who takes out a defender quite blatantly, and the interpretation will be obviously in that situation that you're going to have to look a little bit more closely. If you remember this one back here when Anderson scores out wide, Jack Howarth clearly takes out Nathan Cleary, hits him on the inside shoulder. So Nathan Cleary never gets a chance really to make an accurate call in defence because he's blatantly taken out right there by Jack Howarth. So he's taken out of the defensive line, but that try's given.
That try's given. Is it because that try's given because it's so far from where the try was scored?
Well, the issue is that you've got different people in the bunker making different decisions. Right. But yes, it was. But you would hope that now common sense will prevail, and that is a clear obstruction where Nathan Cleary never gets the chance to move in
and is actually taken out.
And is taken out.
So that's no
clearly.
try.
So that's no try.
The other ones where they're acting like they've been hit by a ton of bricks instead of a feather, those are going to be no try. And we'll get some. Those are going to be try rather, and that will get some common sense around that rule.
And look, the other ones that they're going to look at are players making a genuine attempt to play the ball, and the 10-metre rule, which
the 10,
the 10-metre rule, the 5-metre rule, whatever you want to call it. Yeah,
yeah. I don't know how that's going to be any better police than perhaps it is now. I mean, that's great. I'm all for looking at try and find ways of consistency around the sin bin.
Yeah.
I still don't think it can be done properly, but well done for having a crack. But the obstruction one, that's a winner. I think we're onto a winner there.
Yeah, I agree.